Music and Ideas, 91.3 KBCS, Bellevue, Seattle, Tacoma. A broadcast service of Bellevue College since 1973. It's about a minute past 2 o'clock here on this Thursday afternoon. My name's Ian Hughes. Thank you for hanging out here with us on listener-supported community radio. Listening to Andrew Bird there take us over the 2 o'clock hour from his Hands of Glory record. Alistair Roberts from Pangs and out of the Portland area. New music there from John Craigie. You can see all of that at kbcs.fm. Well, I am very pleased to welcome back into the studio today Mosaic Mercer Island. Mosaic MI was founded by singer and songwriter Abby Kay as a community-driven collective that creates space for emerging performers on the first Thursday of each month. Hey, that's today. Mosaic MI hosts an open mic at Aljoya, Mercer Island to allow musicians to test out new material, find their confidence, connect with other artists, just workshop songs that they have there in their shed. We have three of those musicians here today with us. Sean Morse, a Seattle transplant raised in the Florida swamps, who you can also sometimes catch performing at our friends the Bushwick Book Club shows. Billy Valentine is a multi-instrumentalist and unrepentant car singer who you can catch singing and protest songs on the mean streets of Kirkland. He also hosts Kirkland's acoustic open mic at Moss Bay Hall. And Marni Shepard joins us today. She's an artist and a songwriter. Marni's focus on handcrafted, heartfelt songs and paintings of old-growth forest point toward a vibrant, artistic life rooted in place and attention. Together, these three musicians reflect what Mosaic really is all about. It's a space where voices and songs unfold into a community. Let's begin with some music. This is Sean Morse.
There's nothing like some hard times to bring us together. A little natural disaster, and I reach for you faster than I have in forever. But there's no reason why I can't love you like the world is coming down around you every single day. 'Cause all it takes is straightforward language. I love you and I want you here, and all it takes is a lack of artifice. I love you, baby, and I want you near. Now all it takes is what breaks me down into my separate parts until you come around and put me back together. There's nothing like some hard times to make us feel smarter, like we finally get it. Love comes if you let it, but it leaves if you start playing the martyr. But there's no reason why I can't love you like the world is coming down around us every single day. 'Cause all it takes is straightforward language. I love you and I want you here, and all it takes is a lack of artifice. I love you, baby, and I want you near. All it takes is what breaks me down into my separate parts until you come around and put me back together. Waters, you know they're rising up. Our time, you know it's drying up. Don't you think it's enough fighting drowning. And the waters, you know they're rising up. Hard time, you know it's drying up. Don't you think that it's enough? All it takes is straightforward language, and all it takes is a lack of artifice, and all it takes is what breaks me down into my separate parts, until you come around and put me back together. Together.
91.3 KBCS Roots Rock and Soul. Live here in the KBCS studio with Sean Morse and Mosaic Mercer Island. Sean, welcome into the studio. That was fantastic.
Thank you so much.
What is that called?
It's called Straightforward Language.
Straightforward Language. I love the Venn diagram between sort of a natural disaster and a relationship. Sometimes feel like just a circle. It's all there. You have a lot of natural disasters to sort of pull from here of late in the last few years. Where did that song kind of grow out of?
That's a couple of years before the most recent ones, but it was about the overlay of the tsunami, the Fukushima reactor tsunami, and relational difficulties.
Oh, that's kind of wild. Like if I was throwing a dart at all the different natural disasters, I don't know that I would have naturally gone to that one. What was it about that one that sort of?
I think there was a time. I'm from coastal Florida originally, and so there's been times where the water just wouldn't stop rising, and that's sort of what I got some video of how it just went up and inland and inland and inland, and that sort of put me in sort of a apocalyptic kind of, if it never stops rising, if like it never gets better, what can we do now to make it worth like really like digging in and being good to each other and being good to the people that we love, in addition to everyone else.
Is that a song that you brought to the Mosaic Mercer Island open mics or another open mic? How do you kind of think about workshopping songs? Are you bringing in something sort of fully formed like you just did for us? Or are you bringing it in and sort of, I don't know, maybe still a work in progress and figuring it out?
Most of the time I bring things that are mostly done nowadays, but they can be very new. So I won't necessarily be doing the final version of them, but the content and the form are pretty set. I do something else that's totally separate where I will do full improvisatory music shows. And so I'm apt to do more kinds of improv-y things anyway, trying to put an emphasis on a different syllable here or there and mixing things up in general, sort of to keep myself interested sometimes and to keep things fresh, to feel like I took some acting classes in college, and there was like you have to learn the words and then you have to forget them so you can rediscover them in the moment. And I try to do things when I'm performing sometimes to sort of keep myself having to pay closer attention so that the lyrics will feel a little bit more like they're being found as opposed to just being performed.
Does that sort of improv background allow you to change it then in the moment, or not even, I don't know, not stress about it in the moment?
It definitely brings down the stress, but it really is like one of those Venn diagrams where very, very little cut touches. Like I use it to keep things a little bit like uncertain, but I'm so precious about the songs that I write, where I sit down and write the words, that like the words are supposed to be the way that they are. And then when I go and do these songs for like playing for blues dances or for other kinds of audiences, where I can come in with 90% of the set totally unknown and like be taking suggestions from the room or from what people are saying or from that kind of stuff, that I really allow myself to just let everything be what it is. Mm-hmm. And so it'd be good, I suppose, if I could give myself that grace all the time. But then it might be a really long night for the audience, depending on how well I can manage that.
Well, we'll hold on to bottling that grace nonetheless.
Yeah,
you could sell that. If you're just tuning in, we are talking to some musicians that perform at times at Mosaic, Mercer Island, the first Thursday of every single month, which just so happens to be today. We've been talking to Sean Morse. Joining Sean is Billy Valentine, Billy who performs a lot out of the Kirkland area. Before we get too far into it, though, Billy, I'd love to hear you sing.
Alrighty. I'll play you a little song then. I saw the spirit of the pines that spoke. With the spirit of the ocean in a storm. Against the tumult rose its tattered form. Wild rain and darkness rounded like a cloak. She told her children to confide in the trees, imploring every broken troll to repent. For ignoring all the warnings that were sent. Now fettered spirits rage against our machines.
91.3 KBCS Roots Rock and Soul. Listening to Billy Valentine here live in the KBCS studio as we are joined by some of the musicians you can catch performing at Mosaic Mercer Island, Alajoya Mercer Island on the first Thursday of the month. Billy, welcome into KBCS. Thank you so much for so good to see you. When you are, you play multiple instruments, or at least so I have read.
Guitar and mandolin.
How does that work? Are you able to workshop some of that out at the open mic, or do you kind of already know when you're songwriting if it's going to be a mandolin song like we were just listening to, or a guitar song, or do they change?
I usually, I start with one instrument in mind, and then sometimes I'll just wonder what this sounds like on the other instrument, and sometimes I like it better the other way.
Yeah. Do they ever change kind of radically? Does that, I don't know, Marshall McLuhan, right? The median is the message. Like, does shifting the instrument shift the whole thing?
It gives it a different vibe, I guess. Sometimes the guitar has more bassy sounds, so if you really want something kind of punchy and in your face, that's good. Like the mandolin has kind of low sustain, so you do these little tremolo things. Like that's kind of got a nice quiet vibe to it. Just the instrument brings out different things in the songs.
I love it. Before we went live, Abby Kay, who hosts the Mercer Island open mic, Mosaic Mercer Island, was mentioning a story about you growing up and doing a lot of car singing with your family on the, and fighting over the cassette. I come from a really conservative sort of Lutheran background, and I mean that just never would have happened. I had headphones, and it was other than that like stony silence, right?
Right.
And so I'm totally enamored by a family that might have sung out their lungs. What were you guys singing? Like, what was this, like Carpenters songs? Like,
we had a Carpenters tape. There was some, I remember Alan Parsons.
Yes.
James Taylor.
Of course, yeah.
So when I was young, the first album I was really into, and this is quite young, there was this sort of funny album about video games called Pac-Man Fever. And that was the first album that I learned like every song I could sing along with from beginning to end. And when it was my turn to pick, I would like try to put, and for some reason, no one else in the car was like excited when I picked that. I don't know why, but I had Pac-Man fever, and I guess they didn't. Yeah.
I had a little Pac-Man fever growing up too.
Did you?
Yeah. I totally, I hear you loud there. That's great. I was reading that you do some protest songs, and you do these on the streets of Kirkland, which I love. And, for whatever reasons, sometimes the East Side can, which I am proudly broadcasting from, by the way, can have a little bit more of a conservative bent to it. What is that like, singing protest music during a tumultuous time on the mean streets of Kirkland?
Yeah, so they have a weekly protest on Saturdays from 11:30 to 1 that they've been holding. I think it's connected with indivisible.org, and who just did the big No Kings protest last weekend. And I heard about this. I thought, I should try to go do something, What can I do? So I showed up. I went once. It was, you've been to protests. There's people standing around holding signs. And I'm like, this could really use some music here. So next time I kind of came sheepishly with my guitar, just me, like, okay, if I play a few things here? And people were like, yeah, do it. And so they were very encouraging. So I kept coming back, and then this drummer guy, another guy named Bill, showed up. And so we had drums and a guitar, and then another guitarist showed up, and then a percussionist named Rhea showed up, and so it's just kind of like snowballed. And so there's now this whole street corner band that shows up every week, and it makes it fun for everyone. And I think it's a good thing. It's not just all about hunkering down and being angry. It's like we're celebrating being alive, being out there, and standing up for what we believe in. So.
You guys are like the Group W bench. You've started a movement.
Right.
Do you do covers, or are these original protest songs, or a mix?
It's mostly, it's all covers except the guitarist guy John likes to write different words for well-known songs. So,
Yeah.
One of his recent ones is we change the cocaine song. Eric Clapton. The chorus goes, he just lies, he just lies, he just lies, insane.
I love it. I love it. We're talking here to Billy Valentine, one of the performers at Mosaic, Mercer Island. The open mic happens on the first Thursday of the month at Aljoya, Mercer Island. And Billy, are you going to be there? Can people catch you tonight? Or
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be running the sound, in fact.
Absolutely love it.
Guest sound man.
I love it. And also joining us today is Marni Shepherd. Marni, welcome into the studio. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to be here.
Well, it's fantastic. What are you going to play for us today?
I'm going to play an original. It's titled To Be Human.
Can we hear it?
Yes. Let's go for it. Be afraid, you're not alone. Something I made with love just for you. It's not the same, you know it's true. Playing those games teaches you. You're never alone. I'm here right now. Together we know love reminds us all to be human. Blue skies above as winter nears makes us look up, it's very clear. We learn from love, it heals your heart. When you need more, I am here for you. You're never alone. I'm here right now. Together we know love reminds us how to be human. Blink of an eye, you're not alone as time goes by now on your phone. Blink of an eye, you're not alone as time goes by now home alone. Contagious smiles, lasting for miles, taking you down that road again. You understand, my dear sweet friend, together now to the very end. Oh, oh,
91.3 KBCS Roots Rock and Soul. Marni Shepherd here live in the KBCS studio. You can catch Marni at the Mosaic Mercer Island at Aljoya Mercer Island. Open mic the first Thursday of each month. Marni, welcome in. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That was really lovely and amazingly relevant in a world that is wrestling with artificial intelligence and perhaps what it even means to be human.
It was hard to actually sing that song. I was getting really emotional when I was singing.
Right.
So, when you're singing words that are powerful or saying something that means something to somebody, it's really hard to extract that emotion while you're trying to perform it. And thank you. I appreciate that.
You have and I won't get it right, but you have a couplet there, sort of maybe 2/3 through the song, with time that goes by on your phone, and then you sort of rhyme it in the second part of the couplet there with the aloneness. Talk to us about writing that line as we more and more can find ourselves looking down at this device.
Well, I think it comes down to separation, truly. Separation to your family, your loved ones, separation from yourself. And, technology is the reason, I think, in the sense of creating that distraction. And I think we're living in a world of distraction. And these feelings that we don't have an opportunity anymore to truly express get trapped inside of ourselves. And that's the number one reason why I sing, why I write, is to let those emotions out and to get people to reconnect to their own emotions and their feelings inside, and hopefully to express them in some way.
You also paint.
I am a painter.
And I found myself sort of spending a few minutes today looking through some of your paintings, which are old growth trees often and forest scenes.
Yes.
And I contrast some of these lyrics that were in this whole conversation of looking down to the vantage of many of your paintings, which of course is looking up, and many of them up at the sort of the overstory canopy of the forests.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the contrast there?
That was a big one. Nature has always been my muse. I notice trees more than I notice people. When you go for a walk with me, I have to go and touch, at least 5 trees that we're passing just to say hello. Nature has spoken to me in a powerful way ever since I was a small child. And I use that as my inspiration to be an artist and express that and hopefully connect others to, or reconnect others to nature that they might have not felt that before until they look at the painting. Yeah.
Do you, when I started taking hikes with some of my kids when they were younger, we weren't really exploring new trails. And I found a new pleasure and experiencing the same trail over and over again.
Yes. Well, it's always changing, right? The seasons are always changing, and it's never the same. It's never the same twice. They're living.
Right.
Yeah, living things, living beings. Yeah.
Is that true for music for you? Does it change when you perform? Is it constantly sort of shifting the songs under you?
1,000%.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm working in production right now and trying to lock in a song for production. And for me, it's the hardest thing ever because every day it changes for me. Yeah. And to put it in this one moment of time is a very hard thing because I think it's something that is constantly adapting, obviously. The person themselves, the instrument itself, the recording devices itself, it's always adapting. And so it's constantly different. There's no such thing as it being static, but that's just the way the music world works, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
Are you going to be at the open mic later tonight?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're
talking to Marni Shepherd. Joining Marni today, Sean Morse and Billy Valentine. They have all performed at the Mosaic Mercer Island Aljoya open mic. It happens on the first Thursday of the month, and our founder and KBCS friend Abby Kay is here with us today too. Hey, Abby.
Hi, Ian.
Thank you for gathering up these wonderful musicians. Some great music here on a Thursday afternoon. I love it.
Yes, it was extraordinary just sitting here watching the people that I know, first of all, beyond their music, but Mosaic has allowed me to form a community that people keep coming back. So that's been just a real highlight for me, and also just getting to share their their talents with a larger span of people that I wish would come to Mosaic.
As they should. Tell us where it is.
Sure. It's on Mercer Island in downtown at Aljoya, Mercer Island, and they host Mosaic, and it's a beautiful space. There's no noise. There's no coffee machines. There's no waiters coming to distract the experience. We provide wine. We provide homemade bread. We provide a really comfortable space to either participate and put your name in and play, or a lot of people come just to be and unwind and disconnect, hopefully, from those things that Marni was talking about.
Not to put too much of a hammer on the nail here, but it's called Mosaic, Mercer Island, and today Sean and Billy and Marni, who we just heard with these 3 songs, just a beautiful cross section. Each of these songs really different. Each of the voices really different. Is that part of where the name kind of comes from, or was that part of the inspiration of what you were trying to do to build the community?
Yes. When before Mosaic started, I think trying to embody a concept in a name, it's hard to do, right? So every person that is a part of the experience is a piece to that larger picture. And for me, it is a mosaic, and it's very beautiful. It's really just beautiful. So
we're talking to Abby Kay, founder of Mosaic Mercer Island. Abby, also a singer and songwriter, and I don't know, you can probably occasionally hear you on the Mosaic stage as well.
Occasionally,
yeah. Aljoya, Mercer Island. It happens on the first Thursday of every month. 2.5 years at this point into Mosaic's life, which is pretty extraordinary. Congratulations on that. And just once again, Marni Shepherd, Billy Valentine, Sean Morris, you guys were wonderful. Thanks for spending some time with us here on this Thursday afternoon.
Our pleasure.
Our pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
thank you.
91.3 KBCS. Abby Kay.